Welcome to the show, Lenny Williams. You are a singer, songwriter, and musician. Learned to play the trumpet at elementary school and gospel singing in choirs and groups in the Bay Area of San Francisco, going on to win several talent contests. You've worked with, loads of people: Sly Stone, Billy Preston, the Hawkins Family, Edwin Walter. In '72, you joined the Tower of Power funk band. And you went on to go solo after that, having loads of fantastic hits. It's so brilliant to have you on the show, Lenny. Thank you so much for joining us. So please do tell us more.
Yeah, well, you kind of got it down there. I grew up in Oakland. I came out here when I was 14 months old, and we moved right on 7th Street, where the Bay Area Rapid Transit is right now.
Yeah.
And there was a little church there, Star Bethel Baptist Church. We lived right behind the church. Right across the street from the church was a boxing gym, and right down the street on the same side of the street that the church was on was a radio station. So my three great loves, the church, the boxing gym, and the radio station, music, was right there. And so I just grew up, being influenced by, everything that was going on there. And eventually, just started hanging out with musicians and hanging out at the Showcase Lounge and different clubs like that, and got an opportunity for people to hear me, and just kept on climbing the ladder. And here I am now, hanging out with on music for global change.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I got my start at Esther's Orbit Room.
Yeah, that was on 7th Street as well. Yeah.
Yes, and my mother used to sing at Star Bethel.
Oh, really? At Star Bethel? What was your mom's name?
Estelle Jordan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
man.
that small world?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But that 7th Street, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, 7th Street had everything. It was where the center of the Black community in Oakland.
Man, we used to have venues for music.
Oh, everywhere. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to go see you guys at Frenchie's.
Oh yeah, Frenchie's. Yeah. Right. You were sneaking in, huh?
Mm. Yeah. Oh, I started in the clubs when I was 13. Right. I was open for Bill Chaplin and the Sons of Chaplin and all that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just wonderful to see you now, man, because you've been through all these decades, right?
Yeah, I made my first record in the 60s, and here it is now, 2023. So I think, maybe like 6 decades, of making records, right? Yeah.
And you can still tell what people were wearing back then, huh?
Yeah. I still got those things in my closet somewhere hidden. Great time, a lot of activity, a lot of creativity, ingenuity, Yeah.
Yeah, man. You couldn't plug that music in, man. It's like that's the thing with the kids playing, a whole horn section on a computer now, right?
Right.
But that one, you can't replace the human sound, though. And that's why I'm out with Music for Global Change, to let the kids hear what the three of us actually grew up with before computers, right? Music was here before computers. I got to tell these kids all the time, you need to hear some amazing human beings playing music, and these people practicing all day so they can go play at night.
Right. I remember being in band in school, and you had the the brass section, the trumpets, the flugelhorns and things like that. And and I remember sitting at home every day, practicing my trumpet, so I could try to be first chair. And then now, you just, like you say, you hit a little button and bam, you got the trumpet there, and
exactly. Yeah, wonderful. Ryan?
Well, nice to meet you, by the way. I do have a question, just going off of what you guys were talking about the technology these days and being able, everything's gone digital in terms of instruments, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the rise of artificial intelligence. I don't know if you've seen, like, lately where people are coming out and building full-on songs from other artists' vocals that they've just put into a computer. You know what I mean? Like, my question being, like, what are your thoughts on where this technology is going? And it doesn't sound like a great thing, but in terms of for the artists and the musicians with all this, like, AI.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it, and I was just, kind of wondering, what it's about. But I mean, the way you just explained it to me, I really think that it's going a little too far. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't even know if the original artists are getting credit for it.
No,
Or,
that's the big thing.
yeah, they're not getting credit for it. And so even if they're not getting money and they're not getting even their name associated with it, I guess it doesn't sound too promising.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we wrote songs, you'd be looking forward to that check from BMI and ASCAP, and now it's shrank, because of the onslaught of the way they do music now,
Yeah. Yeah.
as opposed to your record getting played on the radio, and you're getting the money, all this with it streaming and stuff like that. It just doesn't really pay you very well. And then now, if you've got somebody who's able to use artificial intelligence and take your sound and use it and
Profit off of it.
yeah, and profit off of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's kind of a sad commentary, And then I think of musicians, we're kind of like the bastards of the copyright industry. I mean, I couldn't go out to a body shop and ask somebody to make me a replica of the Cadillac that's out, or the new Lincoln Continental, or the new Porsche. I mean, I'd have Porsche, knocking at my door, and FBI and whatever, I mean, even like, but they, they just figure out ways all the time to just usurp us, usurp our ownership, usurp our ingenuity, and we just can't do anything about it.
Just linking slightly onto that, I'll just mention your tracks, your own tracks are actually sampled by varying people. Kanye West has sampled it, Scarface has sampled you. Presumably, these kind of samples you are getting some kind of correct recompense for, are you? Or is that those kind of samples as well?
I'm fortunate from the point of view that happened in the 80s, and in the 80s they hadn't come up with streaming. And so I'm getting money from BMI on actual sales of the record and actual airplay from those songs. And so I was extremely fortunate to get compensated, and get compensated very, very well on those samples. But now somebody can sample you and you could have 1 million streams and get $6,000, But if you had 1 million people buying your record, or 1 million, spins on your record on the radio, then you, back in the 80s, the early 90s, you were looking at a substantial, I mean, you could go, royalties from that. You could go buy a house, a car, and maybe, put some money in the bank and everything else,
Good old days.
Yeah, the old days, right? Those are good old days, right?
Yeah, those are good old days there, right?
Yeah, I remember when Kanye and Twista sampled my song. The first royalty checks I got were, I think, $94,000. The first one, the same day, $94,000 for writing the song and $94,000 for publishing the song. But those days are over unless you're young and you got a great machine behind you. Even if you're not young, if you have a dynamic machine and you get it out there. But I guess now we're back to the old days. Your records are just sort of like a leader. Like you go to the store and we've got ice cream, a pint of ice cream for 50 cents or something like that. That gets you in the store, then they hope you buy everything else. And so, so now it's like people hear your record or they play your stream, and then you get on the road, and that's where you make your money. Or either like these kids are all getting, they're selling perfume or, fashion, or they're selling something, and it's just the draw, but so it's back to hitting the road now, and
it's the only way you can make money is get in front of people.
Speaking of on the road, Lenny, I just saw, you have a very active Instagram. Can you tell us about Easter Sunday in Jackson, Mississippi? That looked like a crowd.
Yeah, we played down there. We had a really nice time. We played at the Hank Aaron Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Stadium crowd.
They have a very beautiful stadium there, and it's, state of the art. and it's named after Hank Aaron and everything like that. So that was really, really awesome. So it was a really awesome, and there's a lot of people there. So I've been doing a lot of Southern soul lately. It's a genre of music that they call Southern soul that's kind of mixed with the R&B Southern soul. Some people put a little Zydeco in it. And so it's been real profitable for me. I mean, it keeps me working all the time.
Okay.
And they got a lot of exciting new artists like King George and Sir Charles Jones and Pokey Bear. And so I just get in where I fit in. And my song, "Cause I Love You," allows me to switch genres, so to speak. It kind of makes me a chameleon. I can just blend in. So I sing that song. I can go on jazz shows, blues shows, R&B shows.
As long as you got a hit.
Even some preachers want me to come sing at the church. You know what I mean? Come and sing that "Cause I Love You" song.
Yeah, so we can pass the basket around.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I've been real fortunate that way. And then get out and do these shows and, just get huge audiences. And all of us combined together, it's be like 6 or 7 of us on the same show, and all of us combined, bringing, their people, and then, their people become my people, and my people become their people. And,
love it.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
But this is Music for Global Change. So we're going to start festivals at some point, right? And around social conscious music or positive music. Would you have songs like that?
Yeah, most definitely. That's real interesting. I was thinking about the other day that when I first left Tower Power and I was doing a bunch of writing, and my first album on Motown was just all conscious music, right? And I remember, but it didn't sell. And I remember being at one of the Motown studios, and everybody had taken a break when people were outside, and I was just kind of hanging out and trying to figure out what I was going to do with the next album, kind of strategizing with Suzanne DePass. And somebody kind of made a snide remark about, you can write all that stuff about, giving and loving and sharing and all that stuff, but sometimes it's a hard sell,
Yeah.
I remember that I just decided that I needed to try to write some love songs or something, because it just seemed like it was going to be, a kind of a hard mountain to climb. And at that time, I was desperate for to having a hit record, or else if I didn't have, if I didn't have one, if this next record didn't hit, then I might be at Safeway looking, be in a bag or something.
Hey, Lenny, so we're going to start festivals. You still have those songs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're there. Yeah.
We'd love for you to come to perform those songs at our festival.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm out teaching young people about positive lyrics now, It's really cool. We need that because my heroes like Marvin Gaye,
right,
Nina Simone, John Lennon, Bob Marley, and there's so many more, right? But like you said, you couldn't sell it. So that's the problem. That's why I'm creating a new genre. There's rock and jazz, and all these genres. There's no social conscious music genre. That's why you wouldn't be able to sell your song. But if we get enough people writing it,
right,
and putting it on stage, then we create a platform.
We create a platform. I was like you mentioned Marvin Gaye. I mean, he was the ultimate. He had the ultimate success in Black music and in pop music. I thought, I guess the only other person was Bob Dylan, but the Marvin Gaye with the What's Going On, and I started realizing that. I realized as I began to grow in my music that if you put your social conscious lyrics with great melodies, then then people, they can accept it. You know what I mean? Those melodies and those rhythms and great rhythms are going to get to them, and then they're going to hear the lyrics and they
man,
draw them in. Yeah,
that's right. It would be amazing, if we got a platform and people don't even know you wrote them songs because it never came out.
Right. So they're basically new. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, that would be the coolest things. Hey, tonight I'm gonna do something different, guys. But it's gonna be about helping. Them songs are about helping us, right?
Right, exactly.
But Dad, listen, he's got to close with "Cause I Love You." It's the greatest love song ever written.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, at least you get, it's the closer. It's gotta be.
Yeah. Well, because I love you. I mean, that says something right there.
I mean,
That's
Lenny, I
right.
want to get your thoughts on that. Like, I mean, even the kids are picking it up on TikTok, right?
It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable to me that song has, just the things that it's done, and the people that it's touched. I don't know, it's just amazing. It's never been a single like the little engine that could, it's never been a single because it was too long, but it's just distinguished itself doing something at Jeffrey's Inner Circle where they're doing a documentary about Bay Area musicians, right?
Oh, wow.
And so they want me to sing So Very Hard to Go. And I was like, I could do So Very Hard to Go. And I know it was a big pop hit, but the hit that put my kids in college and the hit that I work off of every day, you know what I mean, is 'Cause I Love You. So 'Cause I Love You, it just means so much more to me in establishing me. I mean, I don't get phone calls. Hey, Lenny, I want you to come sing So Very Hard.
Yeah.
Sure.
I get
No,
phone
quite.
calls, come and sing, girl, I love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, and you're not getting paid for this, and I said, but, and then this is where the business comes into it. I said, well, number one, that song, So Very Hard to Go, did launch me, but for somewhere down the line, I'm not necessarily associated with that song totally, but people think of it as a Tower Power song. But whatever song gets played on that, the writer and the publisher gonna get some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I want to sing 'Cause I Love You, because
Right.
I'm not getting paid for this, but when that gets played on radio, on television or whatever, then I'm going to be able to get some money. So then the business aspect into it, and then it's, then that's what, things can go left or they can go right.
Now, did you write the lyric to 'Cause I Love You?
Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, lyrics and
Okay, so there's another good reason.
It's the moneymaker.
Presumably you are available. We've mentioned already that you are on Instagram. Can you just give us your Instagram, how you get hold of you on Instagram or Facebook, or where people can
the
find
real
you?
Lenny Williams on Instagram, same on Facebook. It's LennyWilliams.com, and Twitter, the same thing. The real Lenny Williams, and so and people, we check it out every day. Me, my wife, my grandson. And and we, I answer everything personally. They say, hey, here's this, here's that, and it's kind of fun. It keeps me get me going. It's something for me to do,
Sure.
and connected to the people that make a difference.
What we'll do as well, Lenny, is we'll put those links in the description of the video as well, so people can check out what you're doing and
definitely.
what's happening.
Yeah, and I'm personally involved in that. If you get a message back, it's me. Yeah.
Hey, Lenny, real quick, as somebody who's paved the way, do you have any advice for the new generation of artists out here? All the technology and everything, but just some hardcore advice that you can give to this next generation of musicians and artists.
Got to really work hard to distinguish yourself, to work on your talent. You know what I mean, and be the best that you can be. Try to get a good lawyer or make friends with people who are successful, so they can maybe introduce you to, good business people, and, just to avoid substance abuse, it can embarrass you, cause you to miss out on a lot of things that can ruin your talent and everything like that. So those are the main pieces of advice that I give people.
Appreciate that.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show, man. Thank you. Much love.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.